Have you ever wondered how Canada, the second largest country in the world, came to be? This remarkable story begins with the Indigenous peoples of Canada. These diverse groups, from the Inuit of the Arctic to the Haida of the Pacific coast, developed rich cultures and complex societies long before the first European footfall. They hunted, fished, farmed, and traded, shaping the landscape and the history of the land we now call Canada. These civilizations thrived, leaving behind a legacy of vibrant art, enduring traditions, and profound respect for the natural world. Around the year 1000 AD, a new chapter began. Norse explorers, led by Leif Erikson, sailed across the icy North Atlantic. They set foot on the northeastern shores of Canada, marking the first known European contact. This encounter, though brief, brought Canada into the wider world, sparking a chain of events that would forever change its trajectory. And thus, the stage was set for a new chapter in the history of this vast land. The 15th century brought significant changes to Canada's history with the arrival of Europeans. It all started in 1497 when an Italian explorer, John Cabot, sailing under the English flag, landed on the shores of what is now known as Newfoundland. This marked the beginning of European exploration in the region. A few decades later, in 1534, Jacques Cartier, a Frenchman, sailed into the Gulf of St. Lawrence. He claimed the land for France and established the first French colony in the New World. However, this new settlement was not without conflict. The British, who had also established colonies in the region, sought control over the same territories. This led to numerous battles and disputes, creating a tumultuous backdrop for the early history of Canada. This era of exploration and colonization by the Europeans, characterized by discovery, conflict, and the merging of cultures, would forever change the face of Canada. Fast forward to the 19th century, a period of significant political transformation for Canada. The stage was set for a grand reorganization with the arrival of the 1860s, as British colonies in North America found themselves at a crossroads. Discussions of a union began to gain momentum, with the Charlottetown and Quebec conferences playing pivotal roles. The Charlottetown Conference of 1864, initially an avenue for discussing a maritime union, soon became the stepping stone for a broader union. The Quebec Conference followed soon after, where the 72 resolutions laid the groundwork for a federal constitution. In 1867, these discussions culminated in the birth of the Dominion of Canada, a union of Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia. This was made official with the British North America Act, a monumental piece of legislation that set Canada on a path towards self-governance. With the Union, Canada began its journey as a self-governing entity. The 20th century was a time of rapid change for Canada, both domestically and internationally. As the world took a deep breath and plunged into the chaos of the First World War, Canada too found itself swept up in the tide. Thousands of Canadian men and women served overseas, shaping a sense of national identity, separate from Britain. Following the war, Canada experienced the Roaring Twenties, a period of economic growth and cultural development. However, the prosperity was short-lived as the Great Depression hit in the 30s, leaving many Canadians unemployed and desperate. Throughout these challenges, the country's resilience shone through, leading to the introduction of the Canadian Bill of Rights in 1960, a testament to the nation's commitment to human rights and freedoms. The Second World War saw Canada playing a significant role in the Allied victory, further cementing its global standing. Post-war, the country began to truly assert its independence from Britain, a process culminating in the adoption of the iconic maple leaf flag in 1965. This emblem, so synonymous with Canada today, marked a symbolic break from the colonial past and a step towards a distinct Canadian identity. The latter half of the century also witnessed the rise of the Quebec sovereignty movement, a political quest for Quebec's independence. Though a source of national tension, it led to the patriation of the Canadian Constitution in 1982, a significant milestone in the nation's history. Meanwhile, waves of immigration transformed the social fabric of Canada. People from around the globe found a new home in the country, adding to the rich tapestry of cultures, languages, and traditions. This influx gave birth to a multicultural mosaic, making Canada one of the most diverse nations in the world. By the end of the 20th century, Canada had established itself as a diverse and multicultural nation. It had weathered 2 world wars, endured economic hardships, navigated political challenges, and embraced change. From the ashes of struggle, it emerged stronger, prouder, and more united, ready to face the challenges of a new millennium. Now let's look at Canada in the 21st century. Today, Canada is recognized as a key player on the global stage, a nation that prides itself on its multicultural society. From the bustling metropolis of Toronto to the vibrant culture of Vancouver, Canada is a mosaic of cultures, languages, and traditions. With over 200 ethnic origins reported by Canadian citizens, it's a country that truly embraces diversity. Canada's commitment to peacekeeping and humanitarian efforts is another defining trait. In a world often divided, Canada stands as a beacon of hope, advocating for peace, equality, and justice. However, the nation also faces significant challenges. Climate change has emerged as a pressing issue, with Canada feeling the impacts of rising temperatures and shifting weather patterns. And there's the ongoing dialogue about Indigenous rights, a conversation that is crucial to the nation's identity and future. And that, dear viewers, is the fascinating journey of Canada, from its early Indigenous civilizations to the vibrant nation it is today. So, what have we learned about the history of Canada? We've journeyed through a vast timeline, beginning with the early Indigenous civilizations. These societies laid the foundations long before the arrival of Europeans, who brought with them change and conflict, but also the seeds of a new nation. This nation took shape with the union of British North America, a pivotal moment that marked the birth of Canada as we know it. The 20th century saw Canada emerging on the world stage, weathering 2 world wars, and experiencing significant social and political changes. Fast forward to today, and we see a Canada that is diverse, resilient, and constantly evolving. This country's story is etched in the faces of its people, in its breathtaking landscapes, and in its ongoing commitment to freedom and inclusivity. Canada's history is a testament to the resilience and diversity of its people. It is a story that continues to unfold, and one that we are all a part of.